A lot of this world is just a complicated hell realm. Everything that we have to go through in this world, it seems it's just designed to break you down. If you honestly look at the world today, you see so many third world countries, you see so many people in poverty, you see so many things that make people go insane. And I was thinking to myself earlier, after I had a conversation with somebody, and it doesn't matter, you know, that you've been through a lot of things in life because people don't care. No one cares about your struggles. There's no God that's going to be like, oh, well, you went through that, you went through that. Let me bless you. Like, it doesn't really matter. So, pretty much all of our pain and suffering, even though it's given the archons their louche, all of it in the big grand scheme of things is meaningless. All the things that we go through every day, all the silent battles that we have to fight all alone with no help, with no reinforcement, with no nothing, in the end, we're not going to get no reward for it. And I was thinking, by this age and by the age of your late 20s or especially your 30s, if you haven't found the girl, it's absolutely over because what girl is going to marry somebody or want to date somebody that's in his 30s that doesn't have anything, that doesn't have any money, that doesn't have the looks, that doesn't have the prestige, that doesn't have the glory, the fame, the fortune? Somebody that's already been tortured. Like a lot of us, bro, we have so much emotional issues. We have so much psychological damage from just being in the circumstances that we found ourselves in that a lot of us, man, we truly want peace and quiet, but we're not going to find that. And we want a woman, we want a relationship, but we're not going to find that either because at this age, people expect us to already be married with children in a house. But the problem is the wages are not matching up. These jobs are not paying. So, and it's like that on purpose. They purposely give you a little money on the job so that way you can keep struggling because you're struggling and your negative energy you produce while struggling, it feeds these beings called the archons. Remember, this is a Gnostic channel. Even though I talk a lot about my personal problems, because I believe the demiurge is responsible for it all. But I speak on Gnosticism so people can read into it themselves and you can learn about it yourself. You don't have to take what I say like just as golden truth. I want you to look for it in yourself and you discover it. Because when I first heard about it, I didn't want to believe it either until I started noticing. Well, first, I noticed Gnosticism first. Before I even heard of Gnosticism, I was already a Gnostic. I was already saying, this God is not my father. This is not my God. How does this God doesn't know that I have all these hidden talents? And why is he not blessing me? I have all these hidden talents. People telling me, find a job, go here, go to school here. Oh, how come you don't have a job? You're a loser, you're a loser. And I'm sitting there writing the mind-blowing lyrics at night, or I'm sitting there doing something at night that is very creative and very, that most people can't do. They don't have the talent or propensity or intensity to do it. I'm sitting there doing it. And yet this God doesn't see it and doesn't bless me, but you'll bless, somebody else to be successful. And that's when I started questioning, I didn't learn about Gnosticism until like the last few years, really. But I knew about Gnosticism before I even knew what Gnosticism was. I just knew that this God of this world is evil. But after a certain age, man, trying to find love becomes impossible, especially for guys like us in this situation because we've been through so many things that debilitated us. We've been through so many things that it broke our brain. It made us go insane. Like a lot of us, we've been through a lot of crap in this world. We've been through a lot of crap in this life. Like a lot of us have. And we still got to go through it. Some days it's very hard to try to focus because you're balancing your emotional stabilization. You're trying to have you're trying to find a way to get your economics right. Your social skills are shot to hell, and yet you're tired. That's one thing I feel is tired. I feel drained because I'm being drained by these invisible entities. These energy soul sucking vampires, these energy vampires that are all around us, from your coworkers to your manager to the people you have to be to you're forced to be around every day to all types of different things that are there to drain our energy. Even video games, man, because these video games, some of these games are designed just so horribly. It's like, damn, I can do a better job. Let me get into game design. Honestly, because some of these games are just, it's like they're there to waste your time. They're not like how it was when I was growing up. We actually had good video games, and when you bought the game was finished. There was no DLCs. There was none of this, pay extra for this different version and the triple deluxe supreme version for $150 and all that. And if you buy the game, it doesn't really mean you're buying it. It means you're buying a license. Like we didn't have that in those days. In those days, when you bought a game, it was your game forever. You know. Now I'm looking back on the PS2 era. I'm like, damn, we didn't know how good we had it in those days. PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, like, you know. But anyway, it's when you're somebody in this position, man, you don't have anybody that has your back. Everybody around you seems to want to try to pick at you and attack you. And they seem to attack you when you're in a weak position. Do you think the people that are attacking you now, the people are trying to, talk to you crazy at work, or your family talking about how come you don't have a job yet? Do you think any of these people will talk to you disrespectfully? If you were like Moist Critical, if you made $35 million on YouTube, watch how differently they would treat you if you had a business that took off and you made millions of dollars. That's how fake people are, because people are going to realize, like, damn, this person actually made that much wealth, that much money, and they're going to look at you different, because people look at you different based on your materialistic possessions. People don't look at you different based on your spiritual knowledge and acquisitions. So even if you're a spiritual person and you know certain things, you know certain secrets, whatever, people don't care. They're going to ignore that, because most people only care about what you have and what can benefit them. That question, the question that we all dread. Oh, so like, say you go to a job interview, or after a job interview or whatever, or you're in some random place, not even a job interview, just some random place, whatever, and somebody asks you, so what do you do for a living, right? Because like at the job interview, they can ask you, so what did you do in your past jobs, and blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, here we go. Or if you just had some dinner or you had some kickback, you're just somewhere, and somebody asks you that question. So what do you do for a living? See, that's a trick question. What do you do for a living? Because just like this realm, it seems innocent at first. Like this realm is evil. You have all these type of monsters and creatures in this realm, like a lion that can eat a zebra. Now, a zebra is a beautiful creature, you know, and you can have that violence going on. You look at the African Sahara, or you look at the African plains, and you see the beautiful trees, the beautiful sky, the beautiful rivers, and yet there's something evil going on. So just like that question, when somebody asks you, "Oh, so what do you do for a living?" It seems friendly. Oh, what do you do for a living? That seems like a normal question somebody would ask somebody. What do you do for a living? But really, that's a multi-layered question. The first layer is they're trying to gauge how much respect they want to give you, whether they should respect you or disrespect you. Second of all, they're looking to see that if they can benefit off of you, and then thirdly, they want to see they just want to see where you stand in that room. If they're higher on the hierarchy than you, that's why people ask that question. Like they don't really care. Like really, they just want to know how they can treat you. Because let's say you, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm unemployed right now. I have a job. Oh, then like their whole demeanor, energy changes so differently towards you. If you say, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, yeah, I'm a neurosurgeon." "Oh, really? Wow, that's amazing. I have an auntie that was a neurosurgeon too." And blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they got a house in Hawaii. Then they open up to you more. They want to get to know you more, because they're trying to see, like, if they could benefit from you, from your social credibility. This is crazy. Like, people are really like try to attach themselves to you or try to follow you when they see that you got some social clout, or when they see they can try to benefit off of you. Even if they don't have to like you, they'll try to just, that's how desperate some people are. They'll try to benefit off of you when you don't even have nothing really yourself. But if you do have something, anything, like you can be somebody at the bottom, but say you got a new Xbox or something like that, and they don't have Xbox. They want to come over to your house and play every day or something like that. They don't really like you, but they like that they can benefit from playing your Xbox or whatever, right? And it goes with clout as well. You could be a YouTube channel like mine. It's a small channel, very small. It's like a drop in the ocean. Yet you can have people that they will try to feed off of you. It's crazy. And just a few years ago, I didn't have nothing. So that's a very eye opening experience for me, that people are desperate to get clout from anything, and it's crazy. And people ask you, what do you do for a living? They're judging you. They're judging where to place you on the social hierarchy. And it's brutal. And a lot of us, bro, we haven't had the best jobs. Some of us haven't had no jobs. And a lot of that's due to our psychological makeup. A lot of us, bro, we were destined for a life of hell. We were destined for a life of torment. We were destined for a life of perpetual abandonment. We're emotionally abandoned, we're socially abandoned, and a lot of us are physically abandoned. We don't have any people around us that really care about us, that really wants the best for our well-being. Most people around us, they just don't like us at all. They're always plotting, they're always scheming, they're always trying to find ways to screw us over, you know. And it's brutal. Like, a lot of us, we're in positions in life where we wish $1 million would fall from the sky. That would change my whole trajectory of my life. If $1 million just appeared and I was able to grab it, I wouldn't have to bow, kiss nobody's ass, walk around on eggshells. I can stay away from negative people. But ask yourself this question: why would a loving, caring God or being allow money to rule us like this? Doesn't that seem a little restrictive? Doesn't it seem like something a prison warden would do? Interesting, right? So you're telling me I have to live a life of hell, get no woman, get no money, get no power, get no success, and people disrespect me, constantly going through battle, constantly going through wars, constantly going through all this crap I have to go through, and then in the end I'm supposed to get judged by some God and sent to some hell forever? Really? I'm already in hell. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, somebody in religion lied to us. Remember, I used to be a Christian religious zealot. I believed in that stuff. And I'm not saying that stuff is not real or it didn't happen. What I'm saying is that the God of that Bible is evil. That's what I'm saying. Simple as that. And you can try to, and most people that go to church are evil. It's the truth. You just look at their actions, not what they say. Look at what they do. People go to church every Sunday, but look at what they do to people around them. Look at what they do to people that's supposed to be family. Look at what they do. Look at what they talk about. Look at their actions. Look at the things they did in the past. They've done way more nasty sins than you have, but yet they try to put you on blast. Also, you have family members that don't like you, but they watch everything you do. They claim not to like you, but they're sitting there watching you, worried about you, asking people about you, trying to get your phone number. And it's like, why do you want my phone number so bad? There's a reason why I distance myself from you, because you're a bastard and you're evil. I know evil people. And a lot of people that we are around, unfortunately, are evil. It's like, you got to fight this war and this battle alone, guys. And it hurts once you get older and you don't even have a woman in your life. And that's something that having a woman in your life is something that's like a young person experience. You're supposed to be dating as a teenager. Then as a young adult, you're supposed to already be engaging in, in those adult activities. And then as you get older, you're supposed to make a life with a female. You're supposed to build with a female. You're supposed to create with a female. You're supposed to. You need that. We all need that. And once you get older, it becomes almost impossible because most females don't want to be bothered with somebody who in his younger days couldn't get no. Like, think about it this way: if you're 30, or if you're in your 30s or your late 20s and you haven't had a girl yet, what kind of girl do you think you'll get? That hot young 21-year-old blonde, blue-eyed girl, or whatever your preference is? You're going to get that young girl in her 20s who has a fat butt, a cute face, some nice breastises, you know what I mean, and she knows how to dress and clean her behind right, and she likes wearing bikinis and showing off her figure. Why would that girl, when she has many options of guys around her age and probably even older, a little bit older, who are willing to pay for her trips to France, pay for her trips to the Bahamas, willing to buy her anything she wants? How can you compete as an older guy that has nothing? At least if you had a few $1 million, maybe you can get her. Maybe you can get her to give you some fellatio with a high ratio. Maybe hit it from the back, but genuine attraction is it's like a guy who's like 54 who finds a girl who's like 19 or 20, and he thinks that she loves him for his heart, when in reality he's paying for all her college classes, he's paying for her bills, he's paying for her car note, he's paying for all that. And then so she's like, F it, she just gives a little, a little something something, and he pays for everything, right? But in his twisted blue pilled mind, he thinks that she loves him. Right? And then you have the oofy doofies. Like, I never wanted to be an oofy doofy, and I do not agree with, like, simping. Like, I don't, because I feel like guys like us, we already been through enough torment in hell. Why in the hell do we want to get resources, become a millionaire, and then give that all to a girl? When these girls can't even give us, something that's a free thing that we should have had free. We have to suffer. Like a lot of us have to suffer. And the truth is this: is that the more you suffer in this world, the more clarity you get. The more pain you're going through, the more you see things for what they are, because there's nothing trying to blind you. There's nothing trying to deceive you. You know, I used to sleep under a table a few years ago. A table. Yeah, I'm serious. I couldn't have a bedroom. You know why? Because I had a family member. You know, funny how this family member always comes up to be an ass that he had enough money to move out of this place, right? And he was about to move out until he heard me coming in there, and he heard I was going to get that room. And then so he didn't want me to have that room, so he stayed there on purpose, you know, just so I could be under the table because I had no place to sleep. And then after a while, I had to sleep outside. Like I got a bunch of like cardboard boxes, and I kind of made like a little cardboard fort and had to sleep outside, right? And then it started raining, and then I had to like, get new boxes or whatever. But that person did that until eventually my grandmother had to give him some extra bread so he can get out, because he had the money, but he just wanted some extra more money to move out. But he was, and then he finally moved out. My grandmother gave him extra bread or whatever, and then I got that room. And even my aunt at that time was saying some very mean things about me, Like I remember this one time, I was in the room whenever this is my uncle and she was alive. When they both were alive, she comes by the door and she's like, "Oh, do you want that room? Because I'll get him out of there." Because and then my uncle was like, "Nah, no, it's okay, I'm fine." But the fact that she said that, like, "Oh, do you want that room? Because I'll get him out of there," because I had no power. I didn't have a job, I didn't have any money, I didn't have anything, and pretty much my grandma at the time was kind of paying my way, and for my auntie to see me in a bad position and still attack me, and then hours later smile in front of my mom's face and act like, everything's go, "Oh yeah, la, 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 la." It's just so fake. I remember one time my auntie said this wasn't that long ago. This is when I had my either my shadow pill channel or my black pill ninja channel. And my auntie was like, her and my mom were talking, and they're on the way to go into church, and then she says something like, "At least my son works." Funny, because that same son didn't have any money for your funeral, so he had to put you in a box. Funny how life works. I've been through a lot, man, and that ain't nothing. I've been through way worse, you know. But I've been sleeping under tables, sleeping outside in cardboard boxes. I've been through a lot of shit, man. Living in Motel 6s, for real. I deserve to make it. So any God that's seen my life and still refuses to bless me and refuses to put me in a position as a bastard, simple as that. And any goddess or any monad that doesn't help me is just as evil and guilty. I said it. I've been through a lot of crap, man. Even like, you have your own I'm not gonna get into more details, but yeah, man, I just been through a lot of crap in my life, and I've been through a lot of negative situations, and these situations help mold me and you know, help turn me into the person that I am today. A lot of people say I'm strong and resilient, but a lot of us are strong and resilient. It's not just me, because a lot of us who go years without having a woman, years without being rich, years without being, successful, that does something to a man. If the zombie apocalypse happens, we're going to have the heart to survive it. Most of these normies, they ain't going to survive it. They can't go a day without having Chelsea, bent over. Meanwhile, guys like us, all like, we stick to prison rules, right? Use your right hand, and that's it. Like point blank. You know, I wish that we can judge people on their souls. I wish you can like look inside people's souls. You can find the weak souls. Like a weak soul is a cowardly person, a bully. Somebody that tries to pick on somebody who's not bothering them. That's a weak, pathetic soul. I wish you could find those type of souls and see how weak they are compared to like your soul. I wish we could fight in like the spirit world. Like all of us who've been rejected, all that pain and all that agony we had to go through. I really wish that we could just turn into a spirit form and just lay havoc against all of those people that harmed us in this world. Because a lot of us, we're mentally messed up. We're mentally destroyed because we've been through some crap. We've been through some real stuff. Like a lot of us, we've been through things in life that people wouldn't even believe. I had people email me, and talk to me about all types of things. Like people email me and tell me all types of things about their life that they don't want to say on YouTube comment section because they know people be lurking and trying to gather information about people, which is crazy. I'm like, who are those people? Those people are the real feds. They sit on the internet all day long. I'm like, bro, really? Bro, I make my videos and I go about my business, and then I check comments when I can check them, and that's that, bro. Like, I don't sit on the internet all day long, man, you know? Like, I'm trying to create different type of business infrastructures. I'm trying to build something. I'm trying to build things. I'm trying to get myself in a position where money comes automatically to me, right? Like, that's my position. My position is trying to build, not trying to fixate on, random men who I don't know online. That's weird, right? But after you reach a certain age, man, this life is just, it's pointless. Like, that's the best way I can put it. It feels like what is there more, like, if you can't be a millionaire in this world, what's the point of even trying to survive? If you can't have money and girls and nice cars and nice homes, why live? What's the point? Like, what gives us the reason to live? What gives us the reason to breathe? To breathe. That's why Generation Z is struggling, because they're looking at it like, wow, you expect me to be at this corporate office for the next 50 to 60 years? Why we got to deal with office politics, office gossip, and all that? I don't want to be bothered with the office. I want to sit in a nice house and make beats all day, right? Work on my anime, smoke weed when I want, have a beautiful girl from Estonia come over, and we, chill and play Fortnite, and then, do adult explicit activities, right? Hit it from the back, hit it from the front, and actually do things that, make people happy. Have you ever noticed in your life, you always have people in your life that are placed there to cause you harm, right? Like, it's more easier to have people who don't like you in life find you or attach themselves to you or be around you than it is to find people who genuinely love you and care about you. Look how easy it is to have a hater. You can have somebody just be a hater for no reason towards you, rather than having a girl that can just love you. How come it can't be the other way? That's how you know this is a hell realm, because you can go to college and you're not, and the chances of finding a girl to fall in love with you are probably zero. But the chances of finding somebody that want to fist fight you or mad dog you, it's probably like 90%, 95%. Like, why is it like that? Right? Why? This doesn't make any sense. I used to have a college teacher or whatever, or I don't want to call him professor, but a college teacher, you know, and this person was a police officer, you know, and this person would always like do little things to, because I was only, the person of my skin color configuration in the class, and he didn't like me, obviously, because of that. And I can tell it was just because of that, because I didn't do nothing to him. I was always respectful, courteous, and articulate, and made sure I did right. But he would always play these movies that had, racial epithets inside of them, and then look at me and kind of smirk, like whenever they said these racial epithets. And like, like, if you're watching, like, if you're a person of my skin color configuration, you know how it is when you're watching a movie and then the movie says the N word or something like that, and then everybody looks at you to see your reaction. So it's like people like our reactions. It's like they try to do things to get our reactions. It's like, why do you want my reaction? It's like the reaction is like some type of validation that they mean something with them. That's how you know somebody's pathetic. If they have to try to do things to get your reaction, and if any reaction you give them gives them fuel to keep on going. Oh my God, he said my name. Oh my God, he reacted to me. Oh my God, I'm a somebody now because he validated me. It's like, really? How empty is your life? You must be a very sad, pathetic person. Just look at your actions. Have you ever looked at yourself in third person and just watched, it's like people like that are just evil. You gotta just, people like that are just created to cause problems, right? A lot of these people in this world, man, are just put there to cause problems. That's one thing I noticed, man, is most people are there to try to make your life a living hell. Like, they're there to life is already hard and bad enough, but when somebody's trying to make your life even harder on purpose, that's when you got to kind of look at things like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, that's all I really want to say, man. Um, thank you guys for liking the videos and commenting and showing me love because I'm going through it, in real life. I can't really get explicit about my life anymore. So, but just know that I'm going through it and I'm trying my best. And if you guys want me to release any more writings or anything, let me know how you guys feel about, because I may start a Patreon and make some more high quality exclusive videos, or just go back into my bop and thought series or whatever. But let me, somebody said that if I made a Patreon, they will subscribe. That's cool, man, because I'm trying to get away from the situation I'm in now. I'm trying to get myself in a good headspace. I need rest, man. I really need a rest. Even from making videos, man, but these videos are the only thing that keeping me going. But I need a rest from it all. I need a rest from this whole life. I need a rest from just constant stress and depression. I just need a rest, man. I'm just sick of it all, honestly. It's just brutal. It's just relentless, and I'm trying to survive, man. Keep your heads up, soldiers. Peace.